Some details of her plan include a tax on high-frequency trading and a fee for firms with more than $50 billion in assets. Joining us right now is Kevin Hassett, former economic advisor to the Romney campaign and now serving as AEI Director of Economic Policy Studies. Sir, good to have you on the program. Welcome.
Yeah, good morning, Maria.
Let's talk about Hillary Clinton's plan. She did say she wanted to double capital gains taxes, but her latest is talking about a tax on high-frequency trading. What's your take on this new plan?
Right, and she also is, bashing Uber and the sharing economy and so on. I think that the bottom line is that Bernie Sanders is ahead in New Hampshire. He's a socialist. Hillary Clinton has to run way to the left for the Democratic nomination, and then she's probably going to try to wind a lot of stuff back. I think the financial regulation stuff that she did is probably going to be less controversial with voters than the other things like capital gains and attacking Uber and so on. But yeah, for sure, she's got to really go way to the left. And Bernie Sanders, don't forget, wants to break up all the banks, right, the big banks. And so this is actually a moderation from Bernie.
So you think what she's coming out with is a direct result of the competition with Bernie Sanders?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Americans say probably more than almost any candidate I've ever seen, except for Richard Nixon, that they really don't trust her. And I'm not sure that she really wants to do all of this stuff. Like the high-frequency trading stuff, it really makes no sense if you understand how markets work. I mean, that's sort of where liquidity comes from.
I mean, and we're obviously market people here, but if you're trying to out Bernie, and Uber you can't out-deliver the wood with that message. You go to something to many Americans, HFT is an obscure just acronym. That is almost like a nothingness. Right. It's an anti-Wall Street thing, obviously, but doesn't she have to do a lot more than that?
Well, and also like the big banks and the high-frequency traders, they're kind of like that lady in the old movie Airplane where everybody's lining up to bash her, right? I mean, so the fact is, it's confusing stuff. It's easy to get nervous about it. And spoofing is something that really can happen, And so thinking about what we're going to do about this, the way to think about it, I think, in a way that's easy to understand for viewers, Maria, is so suppose that I put a bunch of orders to buy at 8. Right? I put in a bunch of orders to buy at 8. Then somebody might think, oh, well, I don't have to worry about the price going below 8, and so I can sell insurance for going down to 7. It won't, and I can sell it at a low price because there are all these orders at 8. And so then they sell the insurance, and then you remove all your orders at 8, and then suddenly $7 looks a lot more possible. And so to play in games like that is something that's going on in markets all the time. So I'm not sure exactly how you discipline it, but for sure, market manipulation is something that we need criminal prosecution for. I'm not sure that the current laws are inadequate.
Hang on, here's the thing, Hillary Clinton really does have a credibility issue. I mean, the email server situation, that is her Gap dress, okay? Let's be blunt. That is what's going on. So, what she is basically saying here is...
Well, we know she's good at computers.
Yeah, exactly. But here's the thing, Kevin. She's not going so far as Bernie Sanders is saying to reinstate Glass-Steagall and break up the banks. She's calling simply for more oversight of the banks via the Financial Supervisory Oversight Committee, whatever that Marvel Justice comic book league of crusaders is. I mean, here's the thing. Will it play on Wall Street? Will it play in the electorate? Does she just look like Bernie Sanders in a pantsuit?
Can I answer that? She knows doggone well this will never go anywhere. These capital gains proposals, these Wall Street regulations, she knows that she can get some votes away from Sanders, maybe, and then they don't go anywhere. They never turn into law.
Well, what do you think, Kevin? Do you think this is a serious proposal that will play in the electorate?
No.
With voters?
No, and I got to say that I've done 5 presidential campaigns now, going back to 2000 with John McCain, and a lot of times I'll do these events where they'll have surrogates for the Democrat go up on stage and we'll talk about things, and very often the Democratic candidate, for example, is against free trade, is really hostile to free trade as a sort of salve for the labor unions, and then after, the cameras go off and the lights go out, then the people on stage will say, don't worry, we're really not going to do that, and some of that has even been covered in the news.
Yeah.
Over the years, right? And I think this is one of those things.
Who wants that? You tell me you're going to do something, and then you say, "Oh, don't worry, I'm just saying that. I'm not really going to do it." I mean, that's just more under the umbrella of lying to me.
Well, you could call it that, but this is basically, I think, stuff they're not really going to pursue. But, I mean, it's a very common thing for candidates to say stuff they're not going to pursue, right? To list 100 things, but then when they get elected to do 10 of them.
So the debate is Tuesday night because their biggest donors are Wall Street firms.
Well, this probably came from Larry Fink.
Yeah, don't think for 2 seconds that there aren't losers and winners in the anti-HFT trade. I mean, there's huge lobby for this.
Who is the winner?
Conflict of interest? Anyone?
Oh, you were talking about the debate? Yeah, but
well, I was saying, the debate is Tuesday night, Kevin. How do you think it plays out?
Right.
Let's think about this. You got Bernie Sanders, Hillary Clinton. Is that it?
How many people on the panel, by the way?
Yeah,
How many people
some
on the
other
panel
folks.
do the Clintons pay?
Ooh,
Actually,
question.
the count, I don't have the latest. Is it 5 or 6? I wish Joe Biden were there, actually.
Well,
He seems to be the most serious
O'Malley
challenge.
takes his shirt off and wins it all.
All right, wait.
Will Martin O'Malley be there?
Martin,
Can I just throw something in that Bernie Sanders is a really charismatic guy one-on-one. Everybody talks about it, that he's a socialist and
Can
his
we just hang on a
ideas
second?
are abhorrent to
Joe
me at
Biden-
times,
So wait,
but he might get a big
What's
bounce.
your point, Kevin? That he's a nice guy. Go ahead.
My point is that they're going to have a debate, and Hillary Clinton is very wooden, and she has that kind of weird laugh.
So you think Sanders wins
she
it?
really has trouble. Bernie Sanders is a mensch, and he's going to go
Bernie
out there,
Sanders is a
and I
mensch,
think their
Liz.
Democrats might be in panic after the debate.
All right, the real thing to watch is Joe Biden. Will he announce after October 13th? Because he's got major deadlines coming up in November. He's got Alabama will set the stage. He's got to be in there by Alabama's deadline of November 6th. So anywhere between after October 13th, the Las Vegas Democrat debate, and November 6th, where we have to watch whether or not Joe Biden will announce. Right, Kevin?
Right, and my theory of that is that pretty much Joe Biden is an insurance policy against the email thing getting out of control, that he's running this kind of virtual campaign in case things get really out of hand, and he's running out the clock, which also, by the way, sucks money out of Clinton's competitors' campaign contributions because everyone thinks, oh, maybe Joe's going to come in.
No.
But I think he might not come in, and that this is just part of the sort of plan to coalesce power around Hillary.
So
in
Martin
the Democratic
O'Malley
primary.
is expected to be at
He's
the
gonna be
debate,
there?
so he has some
So it's the three of them.
well-developed pecs that would put Putin to shame. So
Is that right? How do you know?
Because he likes to show off as he's like a triathlete, isn't he? Or he's
Shows off his pecs?
Yeah, he shows off his well-developed
I don't think he's going to be doing that at the debate.
Let's girl can.
What is wrong with these people?
Because it's going to be a snooze fest anyway. But you have the manufactured, which is Hillary Clinton, versus the very authentic, which is Bernie Sanders. So I agree with Kevin. He could run away with it.
Isn't the debate in America and in the
I don't
world
think he'll run
generally
away
about
with the
socialism?
nomination.
Like it'll be fascinating to watch Hillary attempt to be as socialist as any Democrat has ever been. I think, Maria, it could be surprising, really.
Yeah, it's going to be good. Kevin, thank you. Good to talk to you, my friend.
Thanks,
Kevin
guys. Have a
Hassett
great morning.
Joining us, you too. Up next.